Dun, dun. I'm live. Wonderful. I still need to experiment with different mics and figure out a way to make this a little bit more upgraded, if you will. But hello, welcome to this corner of the internet, to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Liz. I'm a business coach for women of color. And today we're going to talk about what you need to add to your marketing strategy, especially if you are someone who's brand spanking new, someone who has a small audience in order to increase your sales. So, one thing that I want to emphasize here when I say small audience, I mean small audience. Because what I found is that when people are often giving out business advice to people with quote unquote small audiences, they just mean anyone under 10,000 followers or subscribers. That's not small. That is not a small audience. When I am saying to you small audience, I literally mean if your subscriber count, follower count, email list, whatever in totality is less than 2,000, then I'm talking to you today. This is for you. Now, what you need to add to your marketing strategy, and it doesn't matter what your marketing strategy is. Literally, it could be any strategy under the sun, whatever lights you up, whatever makes you feel good, whatever makes you feel like you're serving your people to the best of your ability and really giving them everything plus the kitchen sink, which I talked about last week. Whatever marketing strategy you have, this is the thing that you need to add to it to make sure that it is effective. And that is making sure that whatever you're doing, that you're at least doing it 100 times. At least 100 times. Adding an offer at the end of it and doing that 100 times minimum. Okay. And I say that, and I literally mean 100 times. Like this isn't a euphemism here, or this isn't like, I'm saying do it a lot. Like, no, literally 100 times. And I'm saying this because you want to make sure that your people actually see the content that you create. Because if you're building your business using social media, using email lists, anything where you're not in front of someone's, like in someone's personal space, in their sphere, right? Where they can't escape from your message or from what you have to offer, they're not going to see it as many times as you think that they are. Because as you're creating your content, as you're putting out offers into the world, you know how many offers you've created. You've heard your messaging a million times. You're probably sick of yourself, of hearing your own self and repeating the things that you say that you say time and time again. But your people are not you, and they have not heard your message as often as you think that they have. They have not seen what you're offering, what your service is, as many times as you think that they have. So I always tell my clients, if you want to make sure that you're doing your offer justice, whatever service you're providing, if you want to make sure that you're doing it justice, make sure that you're promoting it with at least 100 different pieces of content with offers at the end so that people know what it is that you have to offer, right? Because they're not going to see everything. And the reasons why they're not going to see everything are because, whether you're using Instagram, YouTube, or if you're using email lists, whatever, they're busy. They live busy lives. They're not going to be on these platforms every single day in many instances. So they're going to miss some things that you've put out there. We have to deal with algorithms. Algorithms, I believe, do help us out a bit, but still, because it takes time for algorithms to test what you create to make sure that it works, to find the people that it thinks it's for, it takes time. And if it thinks that especially on YouTube, if it thinks that something you've created may not be of interest to someone who may have even liked your content before, it's not going to show it to them. or at least it's not going to pop up in their feed as front and center as you might think. So we're dealing with algorithms here. Like I said, we're dealing with people who are living their lives, like their entire lives are not centered around you and your service. And that's fine. That's normal. If it was, if their lives were centered around what you have to offer, that'd be a little weird. So definitely normal that people don't see what you create as often as you think that they do. So I always say, good rule of thumb, give it at least 100 offers. When we're thinking about like industry averages, right? When we're thinking about email lists, on average, people will see about 20% of your emails. Like that's considered like a good open rate, about 20%. So I just carry that on over to other pieces of content created on other platforms. So giving your content, your offer at least 100 pieces, at least 100 times will make sure that your people see what you have to offer. And again, that's still just averages because there could be people in your realm who might not need to see your content that much in order to make a decision and decide to work with you. There are people who might pop in, digest a few pieces of your content and be ready to go. There might be other people who are in your sphere for a lot longer. Like maybe it takes them the equivalent of like 200 offers before they actually see what it is, before they actually like want to decide to work with you. You don't know. And I caution you on thinking that one is necessarily better than the other. Like, especially under capitalism, it's always more, fast, 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 now. But a client that drops in to your space and wants to work with you within a month is no better than a client who is, chills out in your community for, 6 months to a year or more before deciding to work with you. No one is better, right? And especially if we're thinking in terms of like the financial aspect here, like either one, it's still the same. They're equal here, right? In either case, you're still serving, putting out your marketing, helping the people in your community to be able to see results without you. That's a callback to the last stream, right? And reminding them of what you have to offer, because people can pop in, want to work with you now. Maybe they'll pop out, want to work with you later. Like you're creating this ecosystem here. And in order for this ecosystem to be effective, you need a solid marketing strategy that is constantly reminding people that you exist and that you have an offer, that there is a way for people to work with you. So give it at least 100 tries. If whatever marketing strategy that you are trying right now or want to try in the future, give it at least 100 attempts to work. Like 100 different pieces of content, 100 different emails, 100 different Instagram stories, whatever it is. You make sure you're giving it just that much to be able to evaluate if it's actually working and working effectively. At this stage for me, my marketing strategy is basically just saying whatever comes up in my head that I know will help you and doing it however I wish. But I still measure the financial success of my offers and the financial health of my business 100 offers at a time. I still do that and continue to do that. And it's helpful because, especially when you're just starting out, the social media highlight reel convinces us that, getting clients should be instantaneous. When you find the right messaging and say the right words, then it will accelerate how long it takes for people to want to work with you. And chasing that idea, which has not been proven to be true, chasing that idea is what causes you the most stress and the most distraction as an entrepreneur. Because chasing that theory makes you ignore progress, when in actuality, progress over time is what shows a healthy business. It's proof of a healthy business, like growing over time, not instant I put out this offer and then I get something in return, not that instant transaction that we've been bamboozled into believing is how business works, when in actuality, it is not, in fact, how business works. You ignore progress. So you could very well have a very financially healthy business at whatever stage you're at, but because you're measuring your success based off of the social media highlight reel, people that go viral, people that try to convince you that it's normal to hit six figures in 6 months, you constantly think that everything that you're doing is wrong. And that's not helpful. It's not sustainable. And it certainly is not going to help you build a sustainable business that leads to sales. Let's see here. Some comments. Chatterbox, I'm just starting to post daily 2 weeks ago, but I've had YouTube for years. My shorts get views, but longer videos don't. It can be discouraging. It can be discouraging. The nature of shorts, because it's shorter content, it's much easier for people to consume. I'm definitely someone who's guilty of, if I see a video that's over an hour, I'm like, I'll save it to watch later and maybe I'll get back to it. But it also depends on what the content is too. If it's something that I'm really like wanting to learn, then I'll make the time for that. And our people do the same. Like the people who want to work with you, they do the same thing. Like they will set time aside to watch things that are important to them, including your content. But it doesn't have to be instantaneous. So that's another reason why it's important to make sure that you're thinking long-term in terms of your business growth, in terms of the effectiveness of your offers too, because you could, say you did post like a 30-minute long, 1 hour long video and no one watches it this week, but maybe at the end of 6 months, you notice, oh, quite a few people have actually started watching it because they set aside the time to do so. Same with lives. Like a lot of people don't make lives right as they're happening, but if you allow it to be, if it's recorded and saved, then people view it later. You have more views. So, the desire to kind of create like that transactional, like if I do this, then that will happen. That doesn't help you. And it's definitely not sustainable. And daily posting, daily posting is a whole nother animal. I tried to do daily posting for 14 days, or maybe it was 15 days. And it did not work out, like not even a little bit. I finished it, but it was not sustainable at all. Like not even a little bit. And just from that experience alone, I knew it was not for me. So I post on Instagram Monday through Friday. My weekends are free. And then anything else I do, like these live streams, like being on my stories, such as extra icing on the cake. If I feel like doing it, I do it. But I measure my 100 offers off of my Instagram posts, which I try to do Monday through Friday. But sometimes I only do like 4 times a week. Not a big deal. It's just about building the habit over time. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's unrealistic. Definitely. Like the daily posting is unrealistic. Expecting people to sit and watch hour-plus long videos right on the spot is a bit unrealistic. We definitely want to start getting into a habit of making sure we're evaluating the progress of our business with realistic expectations. Yeah, that's true. I've been posting longer videos for over a year. They are usually 10 minutes or less. Yeah. So it's good to experiment and see what happens, but it's all measured over time. That's why I say give everything 100 tries. And then also you have to take into consideration like what you are, like what platform you're using and what you're creating. So if you're posting Instagram content, for instance, that's short form content, it's pretty quick, especially if you're repurposing. I highly recommend repurposing. I repurpose at least 75% of the content I put out has been repurposed. People do not remember word for word everything that you've created before. It will keep serving them again and again and again. But if it's short form, like 100 offers, making 100 offers in say the course of like 6 months, even my very first 100 offers took me like 8 months, even if it takes you a year. That's more realistic than maybe doing like 100 YouTube videos in a year. Like if you look at my channel, I've only made about like 73, I think 73 videos. And I've had my channel since 2020. So making 100 videos definitely is a long game. But it just adds to how you have to measure things over time. Like we're just so used to thinking, oh, I didn't get any sales this month, or I didn't get any sales calls, or no one was interested in my offer this month. It's like, it's this month. Like even your 9-to-5 business doesn't measure their financial success in terms of months. They don't say 10K months in finance meetings and things like that. They measure, the smallest measurement they use is quarters. Quarters is what they look at. Even that's iffy because as we're seeing right now, we have like this recession going on and looming. So even quarters can get a little bit iffy. It's all about that longevity. Yeah. Yeah. Giving everything 100 tries. Yeah. It's so important because literally everything works under the sun. Like marketing, there's probably millions of ways. There's limitless ways that you can market your business to get sales coming in. But the importance of 100 offers is that you're actually giving it a solid chance, especially if you have a small audience. Because what happens is when you have, these courses or these coaches that say, oh, this so-and-so had this result within 30 days of working with me, they hit a 10K month, or, they were able to quit their job within 6 months. Like these outlandish testimonials, your brain is trained to start thinking that that's the norm, that, oh, if I don't get a sale this month, then there's something wrong and I have to throw everything out the window. When in fact, usually those people are people who have huge audiences, like 5K plus, 10K plus audiences. They're maybe using ads even on the side. Like they have these huge email lists that you can't see. But when you're starting from scratch and you're literally building your business from the ground up, brick by brick, giving your offers at least 100 chances, like giving your people at least 100 chances to work with you, is a great foundational step to just make sure that things are working. And then all you need is one sale. All you need is one sale to prove proof of concept. I'm big on proof of concept. I'll be talking about this in later videos, but all you need is one, just to show proof of concept. One person buying from you shows that your marketing is working. You don't have to have 10 people flooding in 1 month or even in 1 year. Just one person shows that what you are doing does work and can bring in money. And then you can adjust everything else around that to help make sure that you're building and hitting the income goals at the pace that you want to hit them. Yeah. Awesome. So that's all I got for today. But what I really wanted to just instill in you is just the idea of giving all of your offers 100 offers. Like think of your offer as like as your signature in an email, where you have it there every single time you just start to forget it's there. Like that's how I want you to start treating your offers, especially as you start developing and including the 100 offer strategy into whatever marketing strategy you want to do, however you want to promote your content, because you want to make sure that people are reminded that you are open for business, that your open for business sign is open. You're not closed. You have openings. You have spots available. Because as I mentioned last week, people will just assume that you're closed. They'll assume the spots are filled. They'll assume they missed it. They passed the deadline. They don't know. So you always want to be reminding them when you have spots open so that they know. Because assuming that if someone only sees like 20% of your content, right, because of the algorithm, because of life and everything else in between, right, that means that out of 5 pieces of content that you post, they see one. They see one. So you really want to make sure that you're giving your offers a good chance, a real good chance, and giving it at least 100 tries. And it's a great way to measure, because since when you're transition from 9 to 5 thinking to entrepreneurship thinking, in a 9 to 5, you're already kind of on a schedule. You're like, okay, no matter what, I show up, I get paid bi-weekly, or I get paid weekly, or I get paid once a month, or whatever it is. Like, your brain is already accustomed to that schedule. Use 100 offers to create your own schedule as an entrepreneur. If you're doing 100 offers over the course of, say, 6 months or so, I mean, definitely, depends on what you like and how you like to work, but say it's over the course of 6 months, then that's at least 2 quarters in there. You can have high quarters, you can have low quarters, but it helps you to see the big picture and helps prevent you from giving up too soon. And that's really what happens here. I mean, if you look at the numbers, the number of people who statistically, hit 6 figures a year in their business, it's extremely tiny. I think it's like less than 10% of entrepreneurs, or some crazy number like that. And that's because the system, the social media highlight reel, has conditioned us to think that what we're doing is wrong when it's actually right. And how can anyone expect to go the distance and hit the goals they want to hit, to leave their jobs, to hit these income goals, when they're constantly thinking baseline, everything I'm doing is wrong? Yeah. So this is how we start to reclaim this power. This is how we start to look at our businesses from a financially healthy lens, a sustainable lens, and build businesses that literally change our communities, change our lives, and last a lifetime. All right. That's all I got. I'll be back next week for another live stream. We'll be diving deeper into this. If you need help making your next 1K with ease and impact without the sleaze, I do have spots opening in my one-on-one coaching program. You can use the link in the description box below to book an interest call. We'll see if it's a good fit. You can also follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm at most days of the week, giving out more information, helpful tips, and advice on everything from strategy and mindset for building your business. With that, take care.